Hi everyone, I'm Rockin Robin from CookingMexicanRecipes.com. Today I'm going to be making some pasta with some tomato, bacon, and onion. Check it out. It's going to be magnifico. So let's go over our ingredients. We're going to use some olive oil. I have some red wine here, some Cabernet. We'll need 3 cans of fire-roasted tomatoes, and I want you to use the fire-roasted because they have a much better flavor than just regular. We'll need some fresh Parmesan cheese, some salt and pepper. Here I have some fresh parsley chopped up. That's probably about 1/4 cup. I have some ground rosemary here, 1 clove of minced garlic. Here I have 1/2 teaspoon of oregano and some pepper flakes here. Now I'm just using just a few, not too many there because it's pretty hot. Over here I've got some fresh basil. We'll chop that up a little later. And 1 large yellow onion, finely diced. 6 slices of bacon. And of course our pasta. I have about 8 or 9 ounces here. So the first thing we want to do is slice up our bacon into nice small pieces. I like to cut it small so that we get a lot of bacon throughout the whole pasta dish. So I'm going to go ahead and just start slicing. Nice small pieces here. So now we're ready to start cooking. But the first thing you want to do is get your water going for your pasta because that takes a little while to get hot. So I filled this pot up and I added some salt to it. Now I've got my pan on medium-high and we're going to start with our bacon. So I'm just going to toss this in here and we're just going to cook this up until it's nice and crispy. And I have a plate ready, a paper towel covered plate that we're going to drain the bacon on after it's done. So now I've lowered the temperature down to medium-low, and you just want to spread out your bacon like I've got it here and keep an eye on it and just keep tossing it over as it cooks. And this will probably take 6 or 7 minutes, I'd imagine. And we'll come back later when it gets a little closer to being done. Okay, so you can see here that our bacon is done. Nice and golden brown. Looks great. So I'm going to take that out with my tongs and place it here on my plate. So now I'm going to take the oil, the fat from the bacon, and I'm just going to drain it off. I want to leave just a little bit in the pan just for some flavor. And now we're going to start cooking our onions. So put the flame back on to medium. And I'm going to add a little bit, maybe a tablespoon of oil, and we'll add our onions. And we're going to saute these for about 10 to 15 minutes. Here you can see that the onion is picking up the little bacon bits and a little bit of that bacon grease, which is going to give it some really great flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and saute this on medium-high heat. And as they start to cook, I'll turn the temperature down. So here are my onions after, this is almost 10 minutes. And I guess you could call me a caramelizing onion fanatic. So whenever I see a recipe that says, you know, cook your onions 3 to 5 minutes until they're translucent, I automatically think 20 minutes and the recipe's going to be that much better. So you know, I told you with this one, let's go 10 minutes, maybe 15, but you know what? I'm going to go 20 just because I can, and I know that the flavor is going to be so much better. So, and I challenge you, take a recipe that you make where your onions are only cooked for 3 to 5 minutes, and then take that recipe and cook them 20 minutes, and see if you notice a difference. I know I do. So we'll be back in another 10 minutes, and we'll show you what these look like. After 20 minutes of cooking them very, very slowly, I have my temperature on low heat. Nice and beautiful golden brown, and you can see how much they've shrunk up. In fact, I can't even cover the bottom of the pan now by spreading them out. So that's what I've been doing, just spreading them out, turning them over, and spreading them out. Now I'm going to add the garlic. So here's my garlic, and we're going to cook this the same way for 2 minutes. And we're going to bring out the aroma from the garlic cooking. Okay, so it's been 2 minutes on that for the garlic. Now I'm going to add the red pepper flakes. And we're going to just saute those for 30 seconds. All right, so now we're going to add all of our tomatoes, including the juice. And I'm going to add the rosemary and the oregano. I'm going to add the parsley And we're going to add a little bit of wine. Just going to pour in probably about 1/4 cup. I'm going to turn the heat back up, and I'm going to add the bacon. It really looks very vibrant in color. It's really awesome. Okay, and now I'm going to turn the temperature back up because I want this to simmer. So I'm going to get it back up to medium-high until it starts to boil a little bit, and then we'll just turn it down to a simmer. And the only thing left we have to do is cook our pasta. So in about 2 minutes, I'm going to put the pasta in the water. That takes 8 minutes, and this will simmer. So it'll all come out at the same time. Okay, so now it's time to cook our pasta. Everything should come up and be done about the same time. So we'll put our pasta in, and this will cook up in 8 minutes. So while we're waiting for the pasta to finish cooking, we're going to cut up our basil. So I've got several leaves here. I've got about 4 leaves. You want to wash them and dry them, or rinse them. And I'm just stacking them on top of each other. And then I'm going to roll them tightly. This is actually called a technique called chiffonade. So we'll roll it up tight. And then we're going to cut it sort of at an angle, nice and thin. It creates little ribbons that we'll end up putting in our pasta dish. All right, our pasta is ready. So I'm going to go ahead and drain it, and we'll be ready to serve this up. Now it's nice to take a bowl that you're going to put your pasta in and heat it up by sticking it in the microwave or even running some hot water through the bowl. That way it'll keep your food nice and warm. Now we're going to add some of this great sauce to this, and then I'm going to start tossing so we can tell how much sauce we need. And that's going to vary depending on how much sauce you like. Now the other thing I need to do is grab my basil and sprinkle that on top, and we're going to toss that in. And that's going to give it a nice, fresh flavor. And then when I actually serve it up on the plate, we'll top it off with some Parmesan cheese. All right, I'm ready to take a taste of this sauce. That is very delicious. You're going to love that. So what we'll do here is we'll plate this up. I think my cameraman is going to be having a very nice lunch today. And if you want to top it with just a little more sauce, you can. And it's always nice to top it off with some fresh Parmesan cheese. It's so much better than the other kind that comes already grated. Look at that. That is beautiful. And of course, we need to finish it off with a little bit of French bread. And there you have it. This is an amazing, amazing dish. I hope you guys will try it. It really is delicious with all those flavors going on. It's fantastic. So if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel by clicking that link up there and leave me a comment below. I want to hear from you and see what you think about this. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you soon. So after I shot the video today, I decided to go out in my backyard, and it's such a beautiful day, as you can see, and just sit down and enjoy my meal and play with Milo. All I can say is I've been eating this, and it is really, really delicious. Man, it's good. I hope you guys will try this, and when you do, leave me a comment. Let me know how you like it. Here you go, Milo. Go get it. And make sure that you caramelize your onions, because that really makes a difference, in my opinion. So give it a shot, and let me know what you think. All right, I'm going to get back to eating my lunch and playing with Milo. Hey, Milo, bring me your ball. Here we go. Ready? Go get it.